All right, guys, good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Morning Note. My name is Carlos Garcia, founder and CEO of G.A.R Capital. Welcome aboard. We do this every morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for joining me once again. Before we begin, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's a little white logo. Click on that. Turn on notifications, subscribe to our channel, like our videos, comment any questions. Really do appreciate the support as always. Let's talk about it. Dow futures up 240 points. NASDAQ up 55. S&P up 0.55% off its highs. Russell 2000 futures at 22.33, up 0.83%. Crude oil is at 72.36 a barrel. Gold futures slipping here, down 0.82%, 17.64 an ounce. 22.66 an ounce for silver futures, down 1%. Euro dollar up 41 pips, 117.30. Dollar yen is up 27 pips, up about 110.08. Ethereum at 30.72 on the future side. Bitcoin at 43.490 as well. Crypto is bouncing, which is nice. 10-year treasury yield 1.367 as bonds continue to sell off. Dollar index 93.14, and the VIX is at sub 20 at 1961, down 6.04%. So again, a nice bounce here from a dovish Fed, talking about tapering, but again, not talking about it, but not implementing. Slowly and gradually is what they've really said, and market cheered it. I guess everyone was just too bearish for the most part. Kind of not expected, but to the point, kind of was seeing that that we were getting to the point that I don't think we were at capitulation, but again, a lot of bearishness. People were expecting to continue to fall down to around 4,200, maybe 4,100, or a full-blown correction at 4,000. But that didn't happen. Powell did save the day in a sense, but again, we're still not out of the woods yet. So let me go ahead and take a look here. Let's take a look at E-mini futures here, that 200-day moving average. I post all the charts every so often, obviously on Twitter. If you want market commentary and really updates on news, Instagram, I know you guys love Instagram, don't get me wrong, but when it comes to the algorithm, you may not get ours first. So Twitter is usually the best. It's more real time. You get the charts and everything. Instagram really isn't the best to have real-time news. There's sometimes I'll post news and then people will be like, oh no, it's not there anymore. And I'm like, yeah, because it's Instagram. Twitter is a little more updated. So again, I highly recommend you guys follow us on Twitter at G.A.R Capital for all market commentary, some fun jokes here and there, and of course market news and charts, because that's the best way to go. So right here again, below the 200-day moving average, we broke above it on the 1 hour. 44.20 is your level of resistance. We rejected it here. Evergrande was saying that they may not make a payment on their bonds, but then the Chinese said they're going to go ahead and make sure they don't fail. Back and forth, as we know. They won't be paying suppliers or employees. Not good, but again, that's really contained in China. There is some bond buying by hedge funds in America for the Evergrande bond. So again, I'm not a bond trader, so again, that's really up to them. But looking at equity markets are green, again, up 0.5%. Again, nice, but all we are is still stuck in the top range of the channel. What we did yesterday, we played Microsoft, we played Apple, we played Snap. It was very nice to get those yesterday. Also got into some NVIDIA calls yesterday as well. I went ahead and filled some SPY calls for overnight gains. Let's see if I catch it. Again, I didn't go too heavy. I was expecting a little bit of a gap up, but again, I didn't want to risk it too much by sending that out. So either way, that's where I am. Again, I have the 440 calls on SPY that's expired tomorrow. So let's see what I get. If I can get a nice 30% pop or more, I'll just take it and be happy with it. NVIDIA, we should get a nice pop as well. It is breaking above, well, it's now below the level I had. The target I had was 221.14 for a break. It got as high as 222.42. We should be able to test that again at 223.39. I'll go ahead and move my alert there. I have the 225 calls on NVIDIA. That was a signal. We should retest there. Again, a little bit of a pullback from the highs, but again, it's still up about $2 pre-market, which is still nice. Again, still hugging, pretty much holding that 200-day moving average as support short term. Let's go ahead and take a look at some pre-market movers this morning. What's moving? Anything good? Nothing there. Apple up 0.60%. Salesforce increased guidance. They're up 3.5%. That's a great company to own. Microsoft up 1.14%. Disney is up 0.66%. Coca-Cola up about 0.5%. And then the S&P American Airlines up 0.78%, Ford up 1%, Nvidia up 0.72%. We just talked about it. Bank of America up 1.64%. Looking at the NASDAQ, Micron down about 0.70%, really the only laggard that I see this morning. Even Facebook's up 0.41%. So that's where we are this morning. Again, looks good, obviously, that we're bouncing. Don't get me wrong. But again, I'm not, to the point of where, yes, all is well. Again, a sub 20 on the VIX is nice. Again, that's always bullish. But again, let's see if we get continuation. I've seen this before where we get a nice pop on futures and then we get sold off in the morning. So again, you can see NASDAQ rejected that 200, so did E-mini futures on the 1 hour. Let's see what we get if we get continuation. Again, a nice close above 44.20 would be very nice. Again, that's about 16 points away. Could we get there? Sure. Obviously, we're starting to see some bullishness out there. Some bullish indicators, probably we hit some oversold levels down at 42.93. Did I buy any stocks? No, it wasn't enough of a dip buy for me to buy anything. Again, not a big deal. Not every dip needs to be bought. Again, you want to find the good prices that you want to go ahead and buy your stocks at. But again, we did trade some of it, so that at least that's good. Let's see what we get. Let's answer some questions. Good morning. What sectors are you expecting to outperform the rest of the year? I expect tech to outperform, obviously, number one. Number two, I really like financials here. I think rates continue to go up. And then number three, I think healthcare is still a great place to be, UNH being my favorite. Could you please take a look at a good average down point on FedEx? If you're talking about owning the stock itself, let's take a look at it. FedEx is a fine company, nothing wrong with them at all. Again, you can see that they're up slightly pre-market. Right around here is your support, 234.63. So right here is not a bad place to probably pick up some couple of shares. I don't own any on FedEx. I don't have any logistic companies. Nothing against FedEx. I just don't want to own in my portfolio as of right now. But again, probably right here is a good spot to buy some. Sure. What's going on with FB? Are you buying the dip? FB, I still want a little more. Don't get me wrong. I'm still a shareholder. I like it long term. They're very, very profitable. A lot of people don't like Facebook, which I totally understand. I'm still waiting for 334. That's your support on the daily, the first level. Next level will be around 315 and 294. So again, I'll add some more at 334. A nice drop, but not enough for me. I want a little more. Thoughts on Palantir? Palantir, again, I talked about it on Twitter yesterday. Again, it was retesting that triple top. It's at 27.75. Let's take a look at it, see if it broke. It's right there. 27.79 is the level I want for that breakout of that triple top. Again, I can expand it here. You can see it on the 4-hour chart instead. You can see 1, 2, 3 triple top. That's what we tried to play. We got hit because of Monday. Sucks, kills premiums. I'm going to take a look and see if we do break above 27.79. Then I would target right around 29 calls. That would fill the gap to the upside and then possibly make that back. But again, let's see if we can get that break. Can I chart Roku? Roku's looking very nice as well. Looking at the daily again, kind of a downward wedge breakout. But again, 340 is your 100-day moving average on the daily. So that could possibly be resistance. You could also target it as well. So again, I'll place 340 as a resistance level here. That's your first one. Right around 340, 342 is your resistance. But again, you're starting to see a little bit of a drop, nothing crazy. Nice break above the 200-day moving average. It's a nice setup, don't get me wrong. If we get continuation, again, it's a pricey premium, especially if you buy it for next week. So you'd have to go possibly 350s or 345s, maybe. You're welcome. Is it supposed to be a Fed meeting or about crypto or something around September? I have not heard anything regarding that. But again, we'll take a look. If any news comes out, we'll post it on Twitter. So just keep an eye on that. Is Twitter breaking out? Let's take a look at Twitter. I had an alert before on Twitter, but still needs to break 65 for me to really want to get in. If 65 does break, I'd probably target the 66s, which would be the next level up. But again, you could see we're basically retesting the level we had about 2 Tuesdays ago, about 2 weeks ago. So again, 65 is the level we want. Talk to me about Square. Square did do well yesterday. Some of our members caught it, which was nice. Again, kind of similar to Twitter. Again, 265 is the level I want. So again, let's post that alert up there. 265, you could target possibly 275 calls if that's the case. Again, we're possibly hitting a lot of resistance on some of these tech companies as that 200-day moving average is a big line in the sand. So again, am I being extremely bullish here? Again, want to be careful, be tactical. Even the last trades we had, 30%. We had a couple 35% hitters. We usually wait for 40, but that's not gospel either. Sometimes you just want to take what you can take. Tesla thoughts. Tesla, I mean, it wants to fill that gap, but again, it's just running out of gas. I have some Tesla calls that may not work out. It did actually fill the gap overnight. Now it's coming back down. 760 was the level. Really needs to get to 765, but again, right now, all it did was just really retest Friday's level. That's it. It just basically made up Monday's fall. That's all it did, which really sucks because that Monday really crushed a lot of premiums. Good to add AMD here at these levels. So let's see here. AMD, I'm waiting for $99. Again, I'm a shareholder of AMD. I love AMD, but again, I want a deep discount when I'm buying stocks. Does Ethereum regain 5K this year? I think Ethereum hits 10K this year, let alone 5. Good morning, Carlos. Oh, excuse me. Good morning, Carlos. It's from Carmen. It's okay to ask, what's the best way to catch great plays on your own? Any tips to catch those breakouts? Basically, it's just charting practice, and then you got to look at your volume. Sometimes, you do have these headlines like Evergrande on Monday. That's just going to kill you. We had a nice setup on Palantir, great volume, and then just everything got nuked in the market. It wasn't even Palantir centric. It was just the market in general. So again, it can be frustrating, sure. But again, those breakouts come with time as you practice your charting, Carmen. So you can always do some demo trading. You can always do back testing to kind of test your skills in terms of charting. And then, of course, you always want volume and check the spreads, the difference between the bid and the ask. Again, you want them pretty tight, pretty close together. You don't want them too wide because right when you buy, you're already red. Has Wish bottomed? Let's see. Let's take a look at the daily on Wish. Bottomed, maybe it's up 5 cents pre-market. If you wanted to buy here, I mean, it's going to have to be some of your speculation bucket. We always talk about the buckets, core holdings, and speculation. Again, if you want to get in it, I wouldn't. But again, a speculation here, if you really think long-term on Wish, then fine. But I'm not a buyer here, no. Netflix looked good yesterday before the overall market dropped. Let's take a look at Netflix. Netflix did pretty good on the primetime Emmys that I read. Above the 200-day moving average on the hourly, kind of in no man's land. I wouldn't be buying the 600s here. Be a little too expensive. On the daily, it's pretty decent. Seems to be that support around 585. But again, you do have a little bit of a retest. It could retest this channel here of about 560, which was previous resistance. So just be careful on Netflix. I'm not a huge fan right here of this price action. Thoughts on MMAT? No idea what this company is or does. Again, I'm just going by the chart. Not much on the hourly. And on the daily, again, a nice pop in June, but nothing since there. So there's really nothing to do here. Again, if you want to buy it here, that's fine. Again, speculation bucket if anything, but I don't see anything here that's worth trading. ADA, an absolute buy under $2. I think ADA is fine. I own ADA, and again, sub $2 wouldn't be a bad idea. Again, that's actually a pretty good price point on ADA if you want to buy some. Roku, Nvidia, Tesla. We talked about Roku already. Again, premiums are very expensive. I'll wait for the break of 340, and then you'd have to target possibly 350s in order to keep the premiums a little lower. Nvidia, I have options on it. Hugging the 200-day moving average, I have the 225 calls. It's for next week. Right now, I'm waiting for the break of 223.40. Once we get there, we should be able to be fine in terms of the calls. We are up pre-market more than maybe $1.50. Would it be nice for it to be green? Sure, it'll be green this morning, but I don't know if we'll possibly get 30 to 40% on it as of yet. Let's see, plug. Yeah, energy sector as outperformance at the end of the year. Yeah, energy is great too. My apologies. Energy is great. I do have some XOP, which is some gas exploration, so I do like energy moving forward. Absolutely. Plug. I think Plug was price upgraded today. I saw that. It is pushing up very nicely. Nice gap up from 27 to 28.25 or 26.92. In order to trade it, I mean, I would say above 30 on the daily. I mean, I wouldn't want to go chase this thing either. Again, these are pop and drops all day, so just be very careful on this plug. And DKNG, again, I do love the company. I own it. I'm waiting for 35. Again, I do like a nice dip opportunity. It's just not enough yet. 60 to 52 is not enough for me to get excited. I'm looking on the daily here at this bottom. If anything, 40, sub 40 would be nice, but 35 is the level I'm looking for. Again, I'm trying to accumulate shares on the cheap. I don't want to buy just on a small dip either. Apple is looking fine. Again, we caught that yesterday. Again, above the 100-day moving average. But again, 149 is the target. Maybe if we get a retest of the 100 and it holds, I might just get back in on Apple, possibly 149s for next week, which would be right below the 200-day. Expect Chinese names to boost today with Asian Americans jump last night. I think the Chinese markets or Asian markets bounced because of what we did. So we kind of lead the way. I like Alibaba, don't get me wrong, long term, but to trade it is very, very difficult here because you have the risk of headlines. If you own shares, there's no expiry, but if you own options, there is expiry. Fed comes into play. So I would not be touching anything Chinese right now. So I would just be careful. Thoughts on Fed comments and rate hikes, anything new? Again, the rate hikes are not happening this year. We know that. But the dot plot says that will be, I think, at 2.25% in 2023. And we're going to have pretty much low rates until next year. So again, if you're looking to refinance your house or borrow some cash, this would be a good time to do so. Again, don't over leverage yourself like an Evergrande, but yeah, low rates are here to stay. Again, tapering, they were stating, looks like November will probably get started. Around March, it'll end. Again, that's bond buying. That keeps rates pretty low. But again, the Fed funds rate, which is really based on all saving and stuff like that, keeps the rates low as well. Your 10-year is really the baseline. That's why I'm always watching the TNX as I just refinanced my house about 2 weeks ago. So again, if you're looking to buy a home, depending obviously if you can afford it, speak to a good real estate agent. Speak to a good reputable mortgage broker. But again, rates are pretty low. So again, that's really the only thing you're looking for. Rates. As rates go higher, then financials would be the boon to look for. JPM, Citi, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs. I own Goldman Sachs and JPM, so they're both great. So that's where we are for the day. We'll go and leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. G.A.R Capital FX.com is the website. And we'll see you soon. It's nice to bounce back. It was pretty ugly on Monday. Kind of a choppy session the last couple of weeks. Looks like we're starting to turn the corner, which is nice. But again, guys, don't get too excited until we start breaking 44.20. 44.20 breaks and we settle above that on E-mini futures, I'd be a lot happier. Right now, I'm just being cautious. So that's all. Again, call me pessimistic here. Just being cautious doesn't mean I'm not bullish long term. I still think we had all-time highs by the end of the year. But again, seasonally, September and October tends to be pretty rough. 2006 is on the VIX. Anything below 20 is a good sign, green light. But for right now, we're starting to pull back a little bit. It's a nice day. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to complain. NASDAQ is the weakest though. But you're starting to see a little bit of a pullback from the highs. So we'll leave it there. Have a great rest of your day, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. GARCapitalFX.com. If you enjoy these morning notes, make sure to share it with a friend so they can subscribe. I'm trying to get to 8,000 subs. I really would appreciate it. Maybe by the end of the year, we get to 10,000 subs. Who knows? We'll leave it there, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you again.